Welcome to another episode of Stock List. Today we've got a hot one for you, mate. Michael, let's get into it.
All right, so this episode is sponsored by... No, I'm joking. One day it'll be sponsored by... But on this episode, we have the lovely... Introduce yourself, please.
Cassie. Thank you guys for having me again. I'm super happy to be talking about Amazon today. And I'm super happy and excited to be here with you guys today.
That's it. That's it.
Amazing.
We're excited to have you on our channel too.
Amazing. Obviously, you guys might remember Cassie from our previous video about LVM. Was it LVMH?
Yeah. Nope. Kering.
That's it. Kering. Fashion brands.
Yeah.
Kering. Great stuff. Yeah. Great stuff. So, Cass is back to shed some light on Amazon. Awesome. So, Cass, can you please break down Amazon, give us a quick intro, and then we can talk about the pros and cons.
Okay, great. So we're talking about Amazon today. As many of you may have heard, they are doing a stock split. So we wanted to take a deep dive into where they are today, what's the potential for this stock. So just a brief description, Amazon is a technology company that focuses on e-commerce, cloud computing, digital streaming, and AI. And that's what they do.
So many
conglomerate.
Yeah, conglomerate. That's it. So many different arms, right?
So many different arms.
Yeah. People just assume that Amazon, you just go there to buy.
Amazon Prime. That's it.
Yeah, Amazon Prime. You just go there, buy your cables
they even
for your
have
laptop.
groceries.
That's it.
Yeah. Amazon Fresh.
Amazon Fresh, and they're really popping up in London. And they've got this marketing thing that they're doing. So any Amazon Fresh store you visit for the first time, you get £10 to spend for free.
Oh wow!
So if there's 3 Amazon Fresh shops in your area, you can just go £10 here, £10 there, £10 there.
Look at this guy! What a way to beat inflation!
That's it.
They've got the hair salons as well.
I heard about those.
They got a few. They got one.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
And they're considering they're thinking about how they're going to bring a new clothing shopping experience to actual shops. So you try on the clothes in the
They're doing Amazon style.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing the Amazon drop with some key influencers for the past couple of years. Okay. And it's been very successful. Like they drop a collection for 30 hours and then that's it. And then you don't see the collection again. Wow. And then when I was reading their reports, they're saying that they're gonna move that to brick and mortar with an actual store. So we'll see how that goes.
I think they'll pull it off. They have enough finances.
The marketing team is strong.
It's strong. Yeah. Very heavy.
Yeah.
Very heavy.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazon at the moment, you can buy it on the stock market, which is
Nasdaq.
That's it.
So it's on the Nasdaq, same as every other tech stock.
Yep.
Or 99% of tech stocks.
That's it.
Yeah.
The ticker.
So it's AMZN. And someone might mistake that for amazing.
Actually, literally, there was a video this week. We need to put it in this.
We'll put the video in.
We'll put the video in.
Yeah.
Current price at the moment is $3,297. So
that's at the time of recording.
That's the time of recording, which is 22nd of March.
Yep.
Yeah, so it, in the past week, it's gone up by 10%.
Okay, that's nice.
Which is good.
Good growth.
Yeah, good growth. All right.
So that's the stock information out of the way. Shall we go into the pros and cons?
Pros and cons. All right. First pro on my side is the fact that AWS.
What is AWS?
Amazon Web Services.
Okay, cool.
So that was a quick test.
Yeah, quick test.
That was good because I didn't even know what it was.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, we learn something new every day.
You learn something new every day. So AWS, do you want to explain what I was going to say?
Right. So AWS is Amazon's arm to the business. They compete with companies like Microsoft Azure. Mm-hmm. And who else does cloud computing? Google does cloud computing as well.
ServiceNow, NetSuite,
Cloudflare.
There's
a whole bunch of cloud computing services.
Once upon a time, the stock that I thought the company I thought might do well, Fastly.
Jesus Christ. Let's not go down that route. Jesus Christ.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. Anyway, so my point being, Amazon holds a very significant share in that market. 32% of the market.
It holds the biggest share.
The biggest share.
That's it.
The biggest share.
The biggest.
Actually making the most money. Yeah. So 32% of the cloud computing market is actually owned by Amazon. So it's like their dominant, what would I call it? A cash cow.
That's it.
It's their cash cow. Yeah.
That's it. So like you said earlier, it's not Amazon Prime that's making them the money. It's AWS.
It's AWS.
The good thing about AWS is that they are currently looking to train people from a young age and bring them into the business. So they're using
cloud computing.
Yeah, so they're using the metaverse platforms to train kids to grow up with cloud computing skills in the future, which will obviously benefit them as a business. They can just easily hire people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And can I also add through their computing services that they're building, they have already developed 2 chips. So they're trying to compete with NVIDIA. They're trying to compete with AMD.
Wow.
They have 2 chips. And so one is called Graviton, the other one is called Titanium.
Okay.
So we know that they're making their way into the AI, and they're definitely carving a space for themselves.
That's it. So it looks like Andy Jassy right now.
Yeah.
He's trying to put his foot down, make his mark on the scene, because Jeff Bezos did quite a lot of stuff over the years.
Yeah.
So for you to follow in his footsteps,
you need to be doing something great as well. By the way, explain to the people who Andy Jassy is.
Andy Jassy is the guy who replaced Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is the guy who almost had his wife stolen by Leonardo DiCaprio.
Jesus.
If you know, you know.
I'm actually done.
You see my man nowadays, he goes to the gym, he's a bit pumped up since that.
Since that encounter, he's actually put on some muscle.
Yeah.
He wants to look good so he can compete.
He's wearing silk shirts now.
Yeah. You can't have your wife stolen.
Yeah.
No way.
Money doesn't buy
Jeff
love,
Bezos.
guys. Money doesn't buy love.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Fame does. Yeah. Right. So Andy Jassy is actually the new replacement CEO of Amazon. Yeah. So he replaced Jeff Bezos as the CEO.
That's it.
Yeah.
Point number 2 is the fact that AI is being pushed heavily by Andy Jassy. This is good because if you've got an arm to your business that is doing well, you need to make sure that they remain the market leader.
Yeah. Future proof
within that industry. So yeah, the fact that he's just come in and said straight away, this is what I see, this is what we need to do. So 5-10 years down the line, we are still
the market leader in that area.
We still have the market lead.
Yep. I guess for me, it's the fact that there's a clear direction. There's very, very clear direction from the onset. You know, he's come in and said, this is what I want to focus on. Same way with when Satya Nadella came into Microsoft and was basically saying, look, we want to go down the whole mobile first route. And he started pushing down the mobile first route. It's clear direction. And that's ultimately what you want from a new CEO, a new leader. So for me, the fact that they have clear direction is a good reason to trust the stock. It's very, very good reason to trust the stock and trust that it will do well in the next 5 years.
That's it.
And then another pro is that Amazon, the stock is up 289% in the last 5 years, but only 5% in the 1 year-to-year period. I also want to add just like some quick numbers. And, you know, for the people looking at me, I'm looking at my notes on my computer, so that's why it's kind of hard for me to do both. But
That's fair.
Damn, my AirPods are going to shade me like that.
15 minutes later.
So if we look at the net sales of Amazon, so that's just the revenue they generate through all the products that they sell. Year to year, Amazon is up 22%. And I want to point that out because in the midst of COVID, you know, COVID is slowing down and a lot of stores have had less sales because COVID is slowing down. People are going out. People are not ordering as much. But
online.
In the midst of this change, online, let me clarify, online. But even in spite of that, they still managed to upsell their profits. So I think that that's notable. And their net income is $33 billion.
Wow. That's nuts.
That's
That's still a very significant.
That's a
figure.
lot of money.
Yeah.
Very significant.
That's a lot of
figures.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also when we look at the year-to-year growth of the stock, so it was saying that the charts show that the year-to-year growth is only 5%, but we have to take into consideration what is going on in the world. And all of that has affected the performance of the stock market as a whole.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I wouldn't use just that indicator alone to determine if it's a good stock to buy or not. We have to take into consideration everything that's been happening in the world
100%.
and how it's
agree.
impacted most of the stocks.
Yeah. I definitely hear that.
That's
I definitely
very
hear
true.
that. Like I would have added that to the end of your point, saying that the stock market as a whole has seen a decline.
Yeah.
So the fact that Amazon hasn't grown the same way it's grown in the past 5 years isn't something that we should take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Basically,
Like I always say, there's a story behind every number.
there's a story behind every number. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Ultimately,
you could call me Pastor Mike if you want.
dropping all the gospel. Yeah. So ultimately, the fact that Amazon is still seeing growth, even though there's a not downturn, but a downturn in the market, is actually very good news. Yeah.
And also, this is not a reason to just invest into Amazon, but is a reason, is a point nevertheless that I want to make.
Yeah.
Ever since I was introduced to the stock market, there's certain stocks that people have always said these are good to invest in.
Yeah.
Amazon has always been up there.
Yeah. Facts. Amazon and Apple.
Even when Amazon and Apple, whenever you try and set up an account with any broker, they always advertise Amazon as one of the stocks that you should be thinking about.
Yeah, the Amazon logo is always up there.
Yeah,
Amazon,
it's always up there. Yeah.
And also, we should also point out that Amazon first came into the stock market in 1997, and the only time that they split their stock was in 1999.
Oh wow.
So it was literally like 23 years ago. And so this is a big opportunity. Like if we're looking at how much Amazon was, the price of the stock in 1999, and we compare it to the price that it is today, you will see an opportunity.
It's true. It's true.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been consistent growth from the
yeah,
jump, like
yeah,
literally from
yeah.
inception, from when it hit the
Exactly.
stock market. So, like I definitely think taking advantage of this stock split will help.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Remember, the stock split really.
So what is the stock split for anyone that doesn't know?
Essentially,
You know how I would explain it.
Okay, you explain it how you would explain it, but I'll try and do it in a technical. I was about to give a very technical explanation. Mike will give the layman's terms.
Layman's terms. So at the moment, you can buy one Amazon share for $3,297.
Yep.
What's going to happen is for anyone that holds a share in Amazon, I think it's around June times,
Yep.
they're going to give you 20 stocks for the price of one.
Yep.
I don't want to add anything silly to what I was going to say. So it's like, imagine going to buy a plantain.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I'm actually finished. Jesus Christ.
Before you could buy a plantain for one for, how much is one?
One is maybe like 50p. I don't know.
One for 50p. But if now Bossman says, no, I'm going to give you 20 for 50p instead, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Is this a bad thing? Is this a good thing or is this a bad thing?
I mean, psychologically,
yeah.
it's a good thing because naturally people will feel like the stock is more affordable, and it will drive demand in the sales of the stock for people who want to own a full share.
But why
basically.
is it bad?
It's not. I wouldn't say
Not
it's bad.
bad,
It's
but-
not bad.
yeah.
But essentially, when you look at it, nothing's actually happened. Nothing's actually changed
No.
because it's still the same value of stock. Do you
Yeah.
understand? The value of the stock hasn't gone up in a stock split. It's just the quantity of it has.
They just made it more affordable so that more people can invest in the
Yeah.
in
Or
the
they
stock
have
as
the
well.
perception that it's more affordable.
Perception
Yeah,
that's more affordable.
Yeah. And perception is very, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Perception is very interesting. So, I think there are also some what do you call these brokers who only sell full shares. You know. So now a lot of people who only buy full shares or only have access to full shares now have more access to Amazon stock. So that's where I'd leave the argument. Yeah. What would you say, Cass?
I love stock splits. I love stock splits. I think it's
What is it about the stock split? Yeah.
because it gives the chance for us retail investors to get a piece of the pie, right? Like not everybody can
Cass.
just dish out $3,000 to buy one single stock, but so they're evaluating that the stock is going to be worth $150 after the split. The split is on June 6th, and so think about $150 or $3,000. Like it's very affordable to buy a stock for $150. You could buy way more stocks at that price point than one at $3,000. And for the people who already own the stock, then it's just even better. You know, like you have even more shares. And eventually, one question that I do have for Amazon is when will they issue dividends? Like they've been on the market for over 20 years. When are they going to issue dividends? So let's say whenever they decide to do so, the people who already own that stock and now, you know, maybe you have like, let's say 5. Now you have way more than that. And for each share that you own, you get a dividend. And their dividend, if their net income is 33 billion and they just give us just a tiny percentage off of that, it's going to be a nice, sweet dividend. So I'm all
That's true.
for.
I didn't look at it from that perspective.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely for stock split. And also like just on the technical side, like I remember the Apple stock split and the Tesla stock split. And there's usually a really, really high demand. Like people will be buying that stock, like it's gonna be overbought just before the split.
Yeah.
And then
I agree.
right? And then sometime after the split, the stock usually drops. Now I'm saying usually, it may not happen this time, but if it drops lower than 150, there's even more buying opportunities for more people out there.
Facts.
Yeah.
I think if you obviously we're not financial advisors, so take everything we say with a hint of
So Maggie, paprika,
anything in the kitchen, right?
That's it.
We just have to get that out of the way. What I was gonna say is that if you load up on the stock now, from now until June, the demand will rise, and then if you wanted to offload just after the stock split, then you would have made your profit.
Yeah.
In my hidden corner object, like in my opinion.
So when you two are ready to borrow me $3,000, let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, those are like very strong pros as to why you definitely want to pursue the stock and pursue the stock split. So can we get some reasons as to why it's a risk and you might not want to hold Amazon long term?
Point number 1 would be the fact that there's been a couple of people, especially in the last call that Andy Jassy had with some investors, where he mentioned the AI. However, there was some criticism towards it because people see it as unethical. Nowadays we've got facial recognition and stuff like that. And the fact that Andy Jassy was saying that he wants to bring in AI or develop it even more, people don't know what that means in terms for Amazon.
So people are scared of the unknown.
Yeah, they don't know how far he's going to take it.
Yeah.
So his quote was, in his words, he said, "We're entering this golden age of what could be possible with applications, and I don't know if it's 5 years from now or 10 years from now, but virtually every application will have a machine learning and AI infused in it." So he's saying that AI is the thing.
It's the way forward. Yeah.
If you don't start now, then when?
Okay. So yeah, get in and be a market leader.
Be a market leader. But again, like I said, because
Public perception
of it has led to heavy criticism of it. Will this affect Amazon stock in the long run? We don't know yet. Yeah.
Key point. People have to remember that public perception is a very, very strong driver in a stock's price. You understand? Because it's ultimately, the stock price is ultimately driven by the general perception of the company.
Do you know what? Yeah. To counter that argument, sometimes as a CEO, you have to be strong with your ideas, because once upon a time, people would have resisted Amazon going into music, going into
like physical stores,
everything else that they offer other than AWS or anything that we know of,
Yeah, yeah.
like the Amazon Prime services, people would have resisted in the past. But now it's here, you're seeing people quick to rush into Amazon Fresh, even though they don't have an Amazon account.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So
yeah.
I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. Like you're saying he should stick to his guns.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm saying public perception is everything. You know, if the public thinks that AI is a bad thing and you're there pursuing it, it could affect the stock in the short term. So yeah, I get it. Anything to add, Cass, or you're happy with that?
As technical as people want to be when it comes to the stock market, people are absolutely driven by their emotion most of the time. So it's true that if the perception is even somewhat negative, the sentiment will be, we'll feel it with the stock. One of the best way to combat that is, numbers. So if they keep performing well, if they keep selling, if they're maintaining the guidelines that they have put out, then that should also give investors more confidence.
Facts.
That's a fact.
That's direct facts.
Facts.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Right. So
I think that covers point number one.
point number one. Point number two.
Amazon is heavily reliant. Amazon as a business is heavily reliant on the AWS arm, right? And now we're seeing that the market is becoming a bit saturated, where new companies are joining. I haven't got the exact names of the companies that are joining. We did the research not too long ago, but the market is slowly becoming more saturated. Obviously, they've got very strong competition like Azure from Microsoft. So it's a very big risk to have.
Even these crypto the different crypto companies that are out there.
Yeah.
They're trying to
come into the space as
come
well.
into the space and eliminate all the traditional cloud computing companies.
Yeah, exactly. So my whole point in saying that is that it's a risk for Amazon to have 99% of their eggs in that basket. If we look at the financials, AWS is pretty much generating all of the net income for Amazon, all the actual profits for Amazon. Amazon as an e-commerce platform is actually a loss leader. So they're making heavy losses, and they're only substituted or supplemented by AWS. So that's something we need to think about when we're thinking about Amazon. What happens if AWS goes away tomorrow? What happens when something happens to AWS? If that happens, where does that leave Amazon as a business, as a brand? How do they operate after that? Yep. We need to think about that.
I'll play devil's advocate on that when it comes to AWS. Although I agree with you that no business should put all their eggs in that basket, but AWS is not going anywhere. Like they've been the leader in cloud services for years, like many, many years. And I was reading their last report. Nasdaq is trying to expand their cloud services in the way, I forgot exactly what the details are, but they're trying to be the first stock exchange or the biggest on the computing side. Maybe edit that part. I don't want to misinform, but they signed a really big contract with Nasdaq as well, and so many other companies are renewing their contract, continuing their business with them. These are established companies. These are not, of course they have some newbies in there, but these are established companies. So that goes to tell you too the trust that these companies put into AWS. However, I agree that they shouldn't put all their eggs in their basket, and I think that's why, we were talking about like groceries, we were talking about Amazon style, but they also have the sensory devices that are really taking over. They have a pharmacy. Amazon is a goddamn pharmacy. Yes, they're into healthcare.
That's
the chips, as I've said, they're trying to go to
everything.
The
They're
moon.
reaching to take over. The everything place.
Yeah, the good thing is with them doing that, it just pushes the name of Amazon in your face. It's literally a bit like McDonald's.
Yeah.
You see the golden
Right.
arches and you just know, okay, that's McDonald's straight away.
Yeah.
Sometimes a business doesn't need to make you money. It's the
brand awareness. Is so strong.
Yeah.
Brand awareness is so strong. Everyone and their cat knows what Amazon is. Everyone. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, cool stuff. So I'll go into the next point. So remember when I mentioned about the perception, right? So the fact that your workers protest against wages and working conditions is actually very bad for a company
globally
as well. Not just in one place, globally. They have some issues with obviously wages and working conditions. And recently we had in the news in the UK, the way Amazon was dealing with returns was really bad. As in, they were literally just incinerating stuff. So MacBooks, big TVs, they couldn't process returns fast enough, so they were just destroying them rather than even like giving them away. Yeah. So there's been a lot of negative press with Amazon, and you know, a lot of these things, they just get covered up because it goes away. Like next day it goes away. You know, I hear about it a week after. So I don't know where these things are getting packed to, and I'm just worried that, you know, a lot of it can just come back and really blow up in their faces.
Well, when you're a big company, there's always going to be negative press around you because the media wants to destroy big companies as much as they don't want to say it. There's a general hate. There's general hate, and a lot of it sometimes is to do with the amount of taxes that big companies allegedly are not paying. So when that's the case, the media just want to take you down.
That's facts. That's facts.
Yeah. But it is, I agree with you that this is a concerning point. Amazon has 1.6 million employees worldwide. That's a lot of people that you have to take care of. And the issues that they've had are also global. Like people here in North America have been complaining, people in Europe have been complaining about the environment, their wages, and yes, it is a concerning point.
Of course. Right. Yeah. Final point
is the focus on the Amazon services, specifically the Amazon Prime services. So you've seen an increase in the UK, the US, and I'm sure in other places as well, in sporting events that are being shown on Amazon Prime services. So in the UK, we've had the Premier League on Amazon Prime. We've also had an increase in podcasts that Amazon Prime offers. They've got in the UK the +44 podcast. They've also got gaming and just a whole bunch of things that they've introduced recently, hence the price increase in certain countries.
So are we saying the price increase is good or bad?
So from a content perspective, it's good because they're able to put money into these content creators' pockets and then bring us quality content. However, is that what we need at the moment? Can they improve elsewhere? Can they cut costs as well and offer these services to us as part of a wider package
for a cheaper price?
You're
just worried about the price.
The price is a big factor. As much as we're trying to cover it up with. When you think about it, inflation right now. I told you that went to the Jamaican shop to go and get a patty. A patty that used to be £1 is now £2.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
For patty, and that's just patty, not patty and cocoa bread, just patty. So inflation.
He's not even Caribbean. I don't know why he cares so much.
Listen, food is life. So you need to get value for money nowadays.
Okay, I get your point. Inflation.
Inflation. So value for money. Like every service, like for example, Apple Music introduced 6 months free.
Apple
Music for anyone that's on EE or O2, and I signed up just to see what it's about, etc. Amazon are not doing that kind of trial period for you. You just have to
jump in and start paying.
How do I know I'm getting value for money after I've paid my money?
You just have to believe in them, bro.
That money could be going towards a saving, towards my pay. Like inflation, I'll tell you. I don't feel like they're offering things that can justify the price increase.
Okay,
that's my point. Okay.
What would you say, Cass?
So when I was reading the guidelines following their last Q4, they were saying that they were also trying to increase services. And so let's say for Prime services, people who select same day delivery, they were aiming to deliver in an even shorter time frame. So that's what I was reading. That's something that they're working on improving the services that come through their Prime services. Does that justify the price increase? We will see how satisfied the customers are eventually.
Boy, Amazon Prime service and delivery has been slacking recently. Sometimes it's not 1 day or 2 days; it's 4 days.
Damn, that's on your side of London. For me, Amazon comes the next day.
That's why I think they should be improving. Like, obviously, they're good enough because nowadays, when you're trying to buy something online, you think, let me go Amazon straight away.
Yeah.
But again, am I really going to buy into Amazon Music,
Amazon
Amazon
Podcasts,
Podcasts?
yeah.
I don't think so.
You just rather have a decrease in price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If they're going to tempt me, it has to be a decrease in price.
Yeah. Cool. So I think that's everything. So, like, what do you think of the stock, basically? What's your final conclusion? What's your rating for the stock out of 5? I should have just said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So,
me-
would you like to go
ahead.
first, Cass? What's your stock
Sure.
rating?
I'm just gonna say 5 on 5 for me.
I don't think we ever had a 5
Wow,
on the
that's
show.
the first.
I don't think we
Oh
had a 5
no,
on the
that's
show.
it's a straight up 5 on 5. Their numbers are good. Their product offering are good. They keep getting better. They're getting into the chip game. I mean, they keep innovating. Like, they've been around for so many years, for a full on generation now. And it's a company that's still hungry for more. They're still hungry to give you a better offering, new products. Other companies trust them. They trust them with their data. Other companies from Pfizer to Best Buy to Meta to
Barclays. Yeah.
they trust them with their data. That says a lot. So the vote of confidence for Amazon is there. Their products, I'll say that they're good. Their numbers are solid. They're doing a stock split. I'm gonna be able to buy a whole lot of shares. It's a 5 on 5 for me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I get it. I definitely get it when you put it like that. Yeah, man. You should work for Amazon. Yeah, man. Be that like their marketing exec.
That's it.
Yeah. Do you wanna go next?
Yeah, so for me, I would say it's probably a 4.5 out of 5. Again, same reasons as Cassie. For me, I also believe that with Andy Jassy in place at the moment, I feel like he knows where he wants to take the business. And even though it's hard following in the footsteps of someone like Jeff Bezos, it looks like he's put his foot down from the very get-go. So I see the future being bright for Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, both sides. For me, what I would say is I'd give it like a 4.5 out of 5. And the only reason why it's not a 5 is because I only give 5s to stock that's clearly dropped in value and is getting ready to shoot up. Amazon it's on a stable value right now. I don't see it shooting up. I don't see it shooting up because the price is already where the price is, but I do see potential growth in the future based on things like what Cass mentioned in terms of they're going into like different industries, looking into like chip making. AWS is going to get stronger over time. You know, when they finally, you know, take over e-commerce completely, that's also going to be something, do you know what I mean? Like, they're actually going to monopolize the market, I believe. So there is a lot of growth potential with Amazon. That's why I would say 4.5 out of 5 and not a 5, obviously, because the price is already pretty steep, you know. Yeah. So that's my breakdown. Any final remarks? All right, so I think that's everything covered. I want to say a big thank you to Cass for joining us on this episode.
Thank you guys for having me.
No, big pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yep. And guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and share it. And we'll also share the contact details for Cassie's Instagram and and any links you'd like us to share, we'll share. So until the next time, guys, we'll speak soon. Thank you, Cass.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.